Hello and welcome to the Kerry Garden Show. Alan Finn back with you here at Boyles of Killorglin for another 15 minutes of gardening info. And this week we are revisiting our hydrangeas. We promised you a second show on hydrangeas. Miguel has been dying to do it, so we said here we are. Miguel, how are we doing this week?
I'm all right, thank you.
Are you happy? Will we just give them a little hug
actually,
here?
I am.
Yeah, I knew you were.
Happy,
I knew you were. These are one of your top 5 plants, right?
Yes, they are, and we were talking about the momhead, the macrophylla, the other day. Those fellas are totally different plants in terms of management. Okay, so we're gonna go through all of them a little bit to give you an idea of what to do and when and how.
So totally different, you say?
Totally different. Only the arborea has similar flowers, but even you see the head is different than the other ones.
I suppose one of the things that strikes me is that the previous hydrangeas look more leafy. These look more flower-like.
See, and the leaves are different in size. If you touch them, they're
texture.
Different. Texture, exactly. They behave totally differently. It's a good few different types of hydrangea, but commercially we're gonna go for the mop head. We're gonna touch the climbing one, the Anomala petilaris. This is a climbing hydrangea.
Okay.
White flowers. It should be flowering in nature. It should have been flowering already in nature, but you know, here they behave differently.
Okay.
They can be pruned in around March, April. If you need it, you don't need to prune them.
Yeah, it's good. That's pretty early. But
those plants, the wonder of these climbing hydrangeas is they could go in full shade. Right?
Full shade, okay, that's very interesting.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
They could go in full sun. They will prefer house shade or even full shade. When we say full shade, will be north facing, totally covered in a corner with no direct sunlight at all, some light. They will go fantastically.
Wow.
These fellas.
Okay.
You're gonna need a trellis. They will self-cling, but they will prefer
to start
a trellis.
Yeah, and we always talk about, so we'll do another show on climbers again, but it's that whole thing of the angle. You plant them at an angle and they'll grow up.
They will find their way.
And again, are they another hydrangeas like we spoke about the last ones? Well, moisture is important.
Moisture is essential.
Okay, so you can have them in a shady area, but you must have them in.
If they are in pots, they're gonna need a constant watering.
Watering, okay.
Even if it rains like a small
short shower,
exactly, you're gonna have to.
That's not enough.
Well, the soil, they can go in normal soil. So the hydrangeas that are like acidic soil are only the blue hydrangeas. The other ones, they like normal, regular
pH soil.
Regular pH. They can go a little bit acidic. They can go a little bit alkaline, but you won't have special needs in any of those.
Okay, well that's good to know.
So in the climbing hydrangea, pruning in April, March if you need it. Very low maintenance, very nice flowering, and especially very interesting for shady areas. Very interesting. If you have a wall or a patio in a corner which is no light, is north facing.
And I think so many people actually do have them, and they just kind of go, what could I possibly put in there? But the flowering then as well too. So when do they flower?
They flower from April till from May. Late
April, May. Yeah, okay.
And they keep going depending on the position and the situation. They should be still flowering.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
They should be. You should still have some flowers.
And how wild could they be? Because are they the sort of plant that could take over a whole wall, or are they?
They are not. They don't have an explosive growth like a Clematis montana could have, or even.
Some of the other climbers, they just can have quick
I was
ones.
thinking about those fellas we have there, whatever the name is. These Chinese wisterias.
Oh, there we go. The wisterias.
So wisterias, they can grow up to 3 meter, 4 meter will be 12 feet in one season.
Right.
These fellas won't go that bad.
Okay,
but they still grow. They will still be covering a wall.
Okay, right. So that's good. It's good. Wall cover, low shade. And maintenance-wise then, Miguel, you were talking about pruning early. Are they a high
Pruning
maintenance
early,
or
you don't need to prune if you don't want.
Don't feel like it, yeah? Feel like
But
needing
you
it?
can go, don't go very hard on them
Mm-hmm.
unless you need it.
Okay.
But if you want to cover, obviously, if you want to cover a wall,
Yeah.
it will never be too big.
Just let it off, yeah.
So see, that's a climbing one.
Yep.
We're gonna put it aside.
Excellent.
And then we have 3 more types here. We're gonna start with the paniculata cone head hydrangeas.
Okay.
We have these fellas here, 2 large, 1 small. That's the early sensation. Normally, cone hydrangeas, they are later
Okay.
than mob head.
Mob
Right?
head,
So
right.
they start like a month later. So you shouldn't be surprised if you come here to the garden center or if you are outside and see a very nice mob head hydrangea in full bloom, and next to it you have a paniculata with no flowers at all or just starting with the green flowers.
Okay.
So paniculata, the way of managing this, regular, we mentioned the other day rose food for hydrangeas.
Yeah.
Rose food for hydrangeas.
Good trick.
Good. Rose food for them, good. No special needs in soil. They can go in any soil. They will prefer, again, half shade or partial sun. They can do in full sun. They will prefer more half shade.
Yeah.
Did you see them? The other day I was talking to a customer and she was telling me about her hydrangeas. She has never seen them as good as they are now.
Oh, wow.
Because of the clouds.
The cloud cover,
right?
yes,
Cloud
of course.
cover.
So the direct sunlight
So,
hasn't been... coming down.
Unfortunately for us, it's a cloudy summer.
Yeah.
Good for the hydrangeas.
Good for the hydrangeas, yeah,
So
absolutely.
Yeah, and I keep seeing them, and they are wonderful this year. So, what is the magic of this paniculata? Okay, see these ones I start, the flowers, you cannot see them from the radio, but the flowers start in green, in lime green.
Lime green, yeah.
The sepals. Then they turn to white. Then they start taking shades,
Like pink.
shades of
Yeah,
pink.
you can see the touches of pink on the end of those flowers there.
And then they come back to green, white and green. So they have 4 or 5 different colors. Depending on the variety, you'll have a reddish red, a redder red.
Red or red, yeah.
So you have here
We
the
got our
pinky
little
winky.
Pinky Winky. Sure, as soon as I saw the name of this, I started thinking of the Teletubbies.
Teletubbies, yeah.
But this is a fine plant here now. This is a beautiful color.
Beautiful plants. You can use them in hedging. They're good for hedging.
Yeah.
They will give you a very nice hedging.
And a couple of different varieties of pink. Like there seems to be on this one, like
Yes.
the lower leaves will kind of be darker and the lighter ones. So that's a beautiful
Not
contrast.
only that, you see the cones are slightly different in one. That's the,
Yeah,
the
very,
magic
very.
candle, magical candle.
Magical candle, yeah.
That's a more pointed cone. Okay, so you have plenty, not only these 2. You have dwarf ones like Bobo or Little Lime that they will reach in maturity 2 feet in maturity. And some of them that they will grow up to 4, 5. The key with them, okay, that's essential, is the pruning.
Pruning,
These
okay.
fellas, you remember we were talking with the mob heads that is not necessary pruning. Pruning is not necessary. Only
Yeah.
cleaning the
flowers.
You
Yeah.
can't even skip that. Okay?
Yeah.
These fellas, they need to be pruned.
Okay.
How low?
Yeah.
That will be 8 inches, 20 centimeter. All right, 20 centimeter. Every early spring, late winter, you go. This
Yeah.
one. Don't be afraid of going down. Okay?
Okay.
The more you go down, or not the more you prune. If you prune constantly when it's required,
Yes, at the right
you'll
time.
have a very nice
Bushy.
bushy
Flower
hydrangea.
that I next
If
year,
you don't prune it, you'll still have flowers,
Yeah.
scattered flowers, leggy flowers, not especially big.
Okay.
So 20 centimeters, 8 inches, every early spring, go down, whatever you want. If you want to go with the shares, I wouldn't. But you leave a decent bud,
Yeah.
they are right under,
Okay.
and that will start. And they are wonderful.
Wow.
I've seen them in hedging, and it's something beyond your imagination.
I'd say when in full
Beautiful.
color, it is absolutely stunning.
Because they change. It's the beauty of these fellas is that, let's say the mom head, they start in white, they end up in white. These fellas are going to change
Green,
over
white,
the summer.
pink, back to green,
From
yeah.
lime And when they start shading in pink and you see them and you see like, wow, why are they changing color? And some of them, some of them are strawberry color, some of them are pinkier than others, some of them are whiter. But you have plenty of different varieties, very spectacular plants, very low maintenance, no special needs, just the right pruning. Right pruning.
Yeah, the right pruning and water.
In this case, is essential. Like the other season, you can leave them on their own. These fellas, if you prune every year, you'll have your rewards. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna jump to another different one.
Now the big boy here who's been right beside me the whole time.
Arboricola. This is bubblegum. Right?
Bubblegum. This one.
Bubblegum.
Just move this to the
we
front
have
here.
an Annabelle here, which is not in flower yet.
And you were saying the Annabelle is a very well-known variety.
Annabelle, probably everybody knows at least the name that is interested in gardening.
Yeah.
It's a pure white flower.
Pure white.
And then we have here the bubblegum.
Yeah.
The bubblegum starts in like a copperish when it starts opening, but then starts fading to
the white.
White.
And then comes into the pink.
They go into a strawberry fadey.
Well, it's easy to see where it got its name because it does have that kind of pink bubblegum look. It does, right? Yeah.
So see the difference on the leaves. The type of leaves. The paniculata is more pointed.
Yeah, they're smaller. They're dark green. These are kind of more. They're
different texture.
Different texture.
Okay.
Yeah, they're bigger.
Same as the others in terms of care. They don't need any special soil. They don't need anything. What they need is pruning.
Pruning, okay.
Pruning. Remember, those fellas can reach up to 2 meter tall, 1 meter 50, 1 meter 80.
Wow.
And if you don't prune them next year,
they'll just be leggy and they'll fall down.
They will be falling down. Okay?
And is it one of those as well too, Miguel, where we talk about where when this kind of dies, it kind of turns into this kind of canopy that's not very nice to look at? Is it?
Yeah,
at that point
still protects from the frost.
Yeah.
The idea leaving the old flower till the risk of frost is gone is because this canopy will be protecting the leaves, even if they are hardy. They will be protecting the highest shootings, while the other ones are protected by the leaves.
Yes, of course.
Now,
right.
The good thing of this is you don't have to worry about that because you have to prune it.
Right. Okay.
Again, like paniculata, you need to prune it.
Okay.
What is the difference between them, the paniculata and this, in terms of pruning? Pruning at the same time of the year.
Same time of the year.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. But you have to go double. So if you were doing 8 inches,
okay,
you have to do 16 inches,
right.
40 centimeter tall.
Jeez. Right.
40 centimeter. Leave a decent bud on top. If one of them is leggier than others, you can bring it a little bit more. But if you don't do that, you will be losing potential in the plant over the years. Okay?
Okay.
You will have it. You will always have a few flowers. The flowers will be smaller. The flowers will be the stems will be leggy.
Yeah.
Most probably
chances of it kind of falling and breaking, which would be what you don't want. Yeah.
No special needs in soil.
Okay.
They can do from slightly acidic to slightly alkaline. They don't go extremes like normally every plant they don't like extremes.
Of course.
But remember, rosewood, very good, very good. Something, if you don't want to go rosewood, look for something that has no high levels of nitrogen.
Okay, so you don't want the nitrogen.
You don't want high levels. In a perfect world, the potassium should be a little bit higher than the nitrogen, but that's
come in. And the best thing to do, Miguel, in that situation is just come in and talk to you guys.
Come in and ask.
Come in and talk and ask. Now, our last one we're going to have, it's at the back there, and it's a very kind of a dark purple. I've never seen this one before, Miguel, and even the texture of the leaf is very different. What is this one?
So this is a Aspera hydrangea, Hydrangea aspera.
Aspera
will be the meaning if I don't know how to say, probably is a word for that in English, but it's rough when you touch it.
There is. The texture is, it's quite, I don't know, it's kind of like,
it's not soft.
It's not soft.
Smooth.
It's leathery, it's kind of, yeah.
So that's what the meaning of aspera in Latin is.
Okay.
All right, you have in this plant, you have the foliage. What you see is spectacular. It's dark green with red,
kind of purples.
Red veins.
Yeah,
but then
purple,
you go
really.
under is fully purple.
Underneath the leaf is just completely purple, and it's stunning. Well, it's kind of a darker green on the top of the leaf. Now, Miguel, this one doesn't really have any flowering, and you said you were telling me there the reason that this might actually happen sometimes, and there could be you know, some listeners out there who may have gotten some hydrangeas from certain you know, nurseries or whatever. What is the reason that they might not have flowered?
Aspera don't like pruning.
They don't.
They don't like pruning at all.
Right, so totally different.
So they were pruned in the nursery before they send it to here. That's why they are not flowering this year. They will be flowering next year if you don't prune them. Okay. But they flower in old wood. So when you cut the old wood, you're cutting the future. You're cutting the future flowers. Okay. They need to keep in shape. That's a gigantic hydrangea.
It is very big.
That will become in maturity. They don't like pruning, as we said.
Yeah.
Don't have any special needs either. They like water, but especially they reach a 3-4 meter tall.
Wow.
3-4 meter high.
That's huge.
Wide.
Yeah.
They have like a lace cap flowers. These flowers of these plants are light purple, light bluish purple, and the combination with the reddish and the dark are wonderful.
Wow.
But you never prune.
Never prune it. Okay, right.
As you can do it with the hydrangeas. Remember, you'll have leggier flowers or no flowers for 2 years if you go ground level.
Yeah.
Same with this.
This guy's right. So it's like the green leaves prune, but this guy, you don't.
You can give it a little bit of trimming if you want to keep a little bit.
I was going to say, if there was if there is that situation where you wanted, maybe it was getting a bit out of control, when would be the right time to do it?
If you do it late winter, early spring, like the other ones. But see, this one you can see here that they have been cut.
It's a lot of very, very woody. Yeah.
So they were cut. They probably cannot keep them very big in the nursery, so they have to prune them.
Yeah.
That's keeping them. It was one there with a small side flower somewhere.
There's one or two back here.
Because they didn't prune them.
Yeah.
So they did only prune the highest parts. So from the side, one branch had a very nice, very subtle bluish, purplish flower in combination with this color. If you have an area that you can
fill,
allow to have a large, very large shrub, very large shrub. But one is in maturity, it's just something beyond imagination.
Wow,
beautiful.
Wow. Listen, your love for hydrangeas has come out through these two shows, and I'm sure.
Finishing already.
We've got no more time. I said Miguel could keep talking about hydrangeas until the cows come home, but we got to actually finish it up there. But that's some great advice on some of these different types of hydrangeas. If you have been thinking, if you have been wondering, if you spotted some and said, "Oh, if only I think I might get one," now is a great time. Come on into the garden centre, check these new hydrangeas out. The different ranges are there, from dwarf to really big ones, like Miguel just said, and fill your garden with some beautiful colour. Miguel, as always, thank you so much for your time and for your advice over there. Until next time, here from the Kerry Garden Show, we'll talk to you next week. Happy gardening.